Hey y'all. So you're not used to me being angry and ranting. A lot of you, this won't pertain to you because you are already self-reliant, and that's why you're here and that's why you do this, and many of you have been responsible for your own health and well-being for a very long time. From the beginning of this channel, I've had people lash out at me and be assholes to me. And when I look at it, I understand it, I get it. It's misplaced anger. But they got there because of the system. And it's basically this exact same formula. Help, I'm on this drug, I'm suffering, I'm hurting, please help me. I've watched all of your videos and I don't see anything. I don't see any help. Well, number one, that's not true. All of the help is in everything that I say in these videos. But number two, what they're asking is for me to personally give them step-by-step instructions to get off the drug they're on and get on Amanita Muscaria. And I make it clear that I can't do that. That's called practicing medicine without a license. And in the country I'm in the United States, that's punishable by prison. But also, I don't feel comfortable doing that because I'm not a doctor. I literally, seriously, truly am not educated enough to take on someone else's health care. So what happens when I tell them that, and then I tell them, watch my videos, they come back a second time and say, I watched all your videos, I didn't get what I needed, why can't you help me? Please help me. These people feel so powerless and helpless to help themselves and are so not self-reliant because of a system that has told them they are powerless, unintelligent, and incapable of owning their own brain, body, and health care. It happens from a medical care system that tells you, I, as the doctor, am God, and if I don't tell it to you, then it's not possible. And what I tell you is the only truth. And then it's handed down to them from the corporatization of healthcare by companies that are developing the cure in this huge conflict of interest. Now, there are good doctors out there that know that potential and they're keeping up with the science. But y'all, just even in the research on just Amanita Muscaria, there's such bad science out there. Knowing where to source your information is important. And so many doctors are overwhelmed and so busy that they don't have the time to read the scientific journals, and they're trusting the pharmaceutical companies. And then they're turning around and giving harmful information to their patients. This is really bad. The second introduction I had to a failing system was when Hurricane Katrina happened, and I had been paying into my taxes since I was 16 years old, and now that I needed FEMA, they were nowhere to be found, and I had to fight for a year through an incredible amount of trauma and bullshit they did to me, and finally write to my congressman before I got any aid. And you know what? I got 25% of what I was entitled to through receipts, and I ultimately had to file bankruptcy. This was my government now failing me, and I had believed all along my government would be there in times of natural disaster. Then I wound up having to get on benzodiazepines, and my doctor told me, this is the dose that you take. And after being on them for 5 years, I find out that they can cause early onset dementia. So when I start researching it, I find out they were never approved for long-term use. And this is a psychiatrist that's been in the field for 30 years, and he didn't know they weren't approved for long-term use. So the medical system started to fail me. And that was only the first failure. There were other medical failures and medications I needed for other things that started to fail me. And I had to start looking for alternative treatments. And then to watch one doctor after another fail my autistic son and actually injure and traumatize him to the point where I'm having to go on my own and get the information and bring the research to my doctor. And then this happening time after time after time, leading up to me being addicted to benzodiazepines and my doctor saying that he can get me off of them in 2 weeks, and then I try and I'm winding up seriously ill and on the verge of having to be hospitalized, and watching other people go through the same thing. It's like, after 25 years of going off the reservation and becoming self-reliant in one area after another of my life, I am now fully involved in the self-reliance movement. And I'm not saying that I hate authority and institutions. I'm saying the current ones are failures. In addition to the fact that they brainwash you into submission, ignorance, and compliance. Both of those are serious egregiances to the human race. And when we corporatize healthcare in America, well, that's just a conflict of interest that's failing. That's my rant. I know I'm speaking to the choir. You all get this. I'm speaking to those of you that are pissed off at me because I won't help you. I'm telling you, it's worse than you think. Not only can I not help you, and even if I legally could, I wouldn't want to. I don't feel good about it. I'm telling you, you've been lied to and beat into submission, into a place where you think you are incapable. I'm not saying that's the best situation. I'm not saying you know better than a doctor. I'm saying that it should be a team effort. That all of us should be able to trust the healthcare system so much that they trust us as individuals and intelligent people and people living in our own bodies, that it should be a cooperative effort to keep us healthy. But the fact that you are on a drug that you can't get off of, and that the system is failing you that badly, the fact that you can't trust your doctor, or you have no health care and you're just stuck on this drug, and you don't have the money to continue to look for a doctor, this is a failure of the system, and you are an example of that failure. The fact that you are here begging me for help means that you've been beaten into submission and you are the product of many abusive systems, and I am here to tell you it was all a lie. I'm not saying you're a doctor and that the best course of action is for you to go off the reservation and heal yourself, but you're obviously clearly in a position where you have no other option, and you absolutely are capable of navigating your way through this. Because if your system is failing you, either because it's failing you directly or you don't have access to health care, and you are in a dire situation, what the fuck else are you going to do except beg some random YouTuber to help you? This is the way it is. I know you can't imagine feeling capable and strong when you have been crippled by a drug. Because as strong and as intelligent as I am and knowledgeable, I had been so beaten down by benzodiazepines and lost my sense of self and my sense of intelligence and my ability to think and my short-term memory that it felt hopeless. I felt hopeless. It's why I was suicidal. But let me tell you, you're in there. You are in there. The biggest part of you is not what you see right now. You think all of you is lost, hopeless, depressed, and incapable. And I'm telling you, the bulk of you is in there that is intelligent, that is strong, that can listen to their body and is capable. It's just going to be difficult through the cloud of that drug, but you have to start somewhere. Work intelligently with communities and boards and forums of people that are doing what you're doing. Get on our forum and start asking questions. Get your information from many sources. Forums dedicated to just your drug are going to be valuable for you if you knew how much I'm in your corner. And you are a product of a system that failed you and told you you can't, and you can. Now, I'm not going to get off in conspiracy theories because they're a dime a dozen. And it doesn't matter. It's just a fun use of your time to say, well, this is why, and they want to do this to us, and they want to do that to us, and there's control and power and blah, blah, blah. You're probably not wrong. But that's not going to get us anywhere, and it's not going to fix anything, and it's not going to solve any problems. And maybe you can't tell, but my channel is about fucking doing something. Helping people. It's fun to get all upset about shit. Let's spend our time helping each other. I am going to be sending people to this video that are writing me begging for help. If you're going to write in that comment section, write something positive for them. Tell them where they can find help. Where have you found help? Tell them to go to the forum. You go to the forum. Start helping people. Tell them they absolutely can do this. Tell them your story of how you got from there to here. Use my comment section for good. Can you just take your conspiracy theories somewhere else? I don't care. I used to get involved in all that when I was first in all this discovery. Cool. We know why they're doing this shit. Whatever. They're all different reasons depending on who they are. But what I'm here to do is help. So if you're here to get help, read the comments section. If you're here because you follow my channel and you'll watch any goddamn thing I say on video, if you have any experience with this, use it for good and write in this comment section so that those people have something to read to pull them out of the shit they're in, y'all. Because if we're going to rise up and create change for the betterment of our planet and the upcoming generation, and we can do it when we are self-reliant and empowered to get out there and campaign for changes in the laws, to bring certain systems down, to force certain companies to start being more transparent and making better products and being more responsible to the public, and possibly more laws to force them into compliance and stop the corruption by corporations. Do you see what I'm saying? It's fun to spout off bullshit, but if you want to get active in changing this world for the better, you've got to start somewhere. Encourage science to start doing research about this so we get more information. As I get out there, I'm going to start speaking wherever I am invited to speak and wherever I can. And in every lecture or every speaking engagement, I will call science to pay the fuck attention to this mushroom. They're paying attention to the psychedelics for those reasons. But this mushroom has medical value. Massive medical value here. We need research. I can see a day, long after I'm dead and gone, where this mushroom will be a natural alternative that doctors can turn to when medicine fails. And I want to see a day where there's less harm done to people by just getting tossed on benzodiazepines and Ambien and getting addicted to this shit. They're already changing things with painkillers. Let's change things about these drugs. But you can't just yank something away and not give someone an alternative when the alternative is sitting right here. Help me. Help me in all these ways. Speak out. Ask science to do the work. Educate your physicians. Educate your friends. Send people to my channel. Write in the comments section your story or support these people that are trying to get off these drugs and educate themselves and learn how to listen to their bodies and be advocates when they go to their doctors. Write in the comments section. Get on our forum. We have about 150 people on the forum. That's not enough. We need thousands of people. We need to crowdsource this. We want to be a place where other researchers can actually come to our forum for anecdotal information when they're trying to write their grants. We can do a lot of good here. Okay, rant over. Talked it all out. Not so angry anymore. Passionate, yes. Driven, yes. Okay. I love you, beautiful people. Let's keep pushing forward, shall we? Mwah.